What's up, YouTube? We're here today. Mike is out. We got Masi, Mawasha, and myself. Hopefully, Mike can join us. We're just going to recap a little bit of the play-in tournament. Let's kick it off, guys. So Tuesday, Pacers, Hornets. It did not go the way I thought it was, to be honest. 144, 117. Pacers just smoke the Hornets. I don't know if you guys caught much of the game, but I was hoping that the Hornets would make some type of run. I think the team is better than what the end result was. Unfortunately, they didn't. And then it resulted with the Pacers advancing and the Hornets basically watching at home. Your input on that game?
I mean, honestly, it was just experience. At the end of the day, I mean, like you said, Hornets are a way better team than what they played. But the moment it just looked a little too big for them. To me, that's what I thought. And Pacers came out to play, and they wanted to get the game. And we'll talk about what they just did today. But that game, I mean, they came out. I think that took out a lot of them. That's why this game they were a little slow and they were playing no defense. But I don't know. It was good. It was exciting, but I didn't catch a lot of the game. So
yeah, basically.
I just want to go ahead, Moshe.
Now, like I mentioned on our last talk, the Hornets are still very young. They still have a lot to go, a lot to work on. You know, the Pacers, they had a tough series with the Heat last year in the playoffs, and the Heat went to the final. So, you know, they're built a little more for this. I don't know what happened tonight. They just got smoked. But in regards with the Hornets, it was just experience over the youth.
Right. Yeah, we wanted a better game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And the game later that night, the Boston Celtics with the Washington Wizards. Again, I made a bad pick. I thought Wizards was going to win that game, but Jason Tatum said, "Well, hold up." He put the team on his back and dropped 50 on them, which is amazing because this is the Jason Tatum that I've expected to be there all season. Like, he's the star, the superstar for that team outside of Jaylen Brown that really is going to emerge and take that role. So I was shocked that the Wizards couldn't pull the win, but hey, Celtics, JT, man, what are you going to do?
Oh, I mean, now I know why Mike is not here, right? So,
oh, yeah, that's right.
You said it. I mean, Tatum's a superstar. The kid is a superstar. He's still so young. That team, I thought Boston would be one of the ones that we were talking about going into the conference finals or maybe even getting to the championship because of the talent on that team. But I just think they underperformed. But Tatum showed what he's capable of and what he can do. And to throw up 50 in a season that's been so bad for them, in a season that they have to endure so much and kind of fall off the grace. Because like I said, the last 2 years, we're talking about Boston being one of the best team in the East, and that's the team you have to go through. We were talking about these kids coming up, this and that. I mean, that's exactly what Tatum needs to do and take the next step, and that's what he did. And that was a great game, and Wizards weren't ready for it.
Yeah, their top two players. I think Tatum had 50, Kemba had 29, and Beal and Westbrook had off games. And you know, when your two top stars come out to play like that, drop almost 80 points combined, it's going to be hard to beat anybody.
And Jaylen Brown is not there. That's another, we're talking about great all-star player that they're missing.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting moving forward, and we'll talk about the matchups for the rest of the playoffs. Last night, actually, the West was had better games than the East. You had the Spurs in Memphis. Memphis took a pretty big lead early first quarter. I thought they were like, okay, that's it. They're going to run away with the game. But, you know, you can never count out Coach Pop and those Spurs. And then they made a push. First quarter, Memphis outscored them 38-19. Second quarter, the Spurs came back and outscored them 30-18. And after that, after the first half. They were pretty going at each other, pretty neck to neck. But I'm happy. I'm happy that John Morant finally is going to have an opportunity to potentially get into the actual playoffs. So that's pretty good. I picked the Spurs. I thought they were going to win, but unfortunately, I was wrong there.
Great game. I mean, Pop definitely, you knew second half, that's not how it's going to go. Just honestly, it's Pop. He's going to do something. But for him to even get that team in that position to be playing in a tournament with that team, I mean, you got DeRozan, you got Rudy Gay, that's, 100 years old. But did you guys see that last three he hit, though, in the end of the game to bring them into one?
Yeah,
a couple, yeah.
I mean, Pop is Pop, but Grizzlies just had a little too much firepower, and young kids were just going wild, making shots. And I'm excited to see them in the next round because they do have a great core. And even if they don't advance, I think this is going to help their confidence with the young kids. And this is what we're talking about, right? The playing tournament, is it good? Yeah, I mean, how excited were we watching these tournaments, not knocking out who's going to get into the next spot? I mean, it was great basketball. It was great fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure everybody was talking about it. But yeah, I'm excited to see the Grizzlies in the next round, and I actually picked them to go beat the Spurs. So I'm glad to see them.
I think I had the Spurs too, but when you got Jonas 23 and 23, Dylan Brooks 24 plus, it makes it easier for Morant to do his thing. With DeMar, he didn't really have anyone show up for him till Rudy Gay hit those threes in the fourth quarter to put them in the lead, tied at one point. But I think Memphis just played a lot more together down the stretch to put the game away.
Yeah, man. It was just a pretty good game overall. And then finally, the night game. Oh,
let me just get my charger. Sorry, guys. Let me just get my charger real quick.
All right, you do that. We'll talk about the night game. So the Lakers and the Warriors
did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint at all. Holy smokes, bro. Honestly, I thought, I'll be frank, I thought the Lakers was going to come out early. They were going to really beat up on the Warriors. But actually, it turned out to be the other way around. The Warriors came out hot. Lakers obviously came out cold, and they were able to Warriors get that 13-point lead. And then finally, the big three at the second half for the Lakers, they showed up, and they hit a couple of timely shots, especially the one at the end. LeBron hits the three basically with one eye, and that does it. That pretty much did it for them. I was just a little upset at the end that Curry couldn't secure the ball, and maybe I wanted to see if he could have hit it to match and then maybe send it overtime, but it still doesn't take away from the game. It was a great game. Very fun, very fun.
I mean, honestly, we went into this. I think this was the game that actually made this whole thing exciting for me. When you have two big market teams, you have superstars and all-time great players in a play-in tournament, it really drives a business as well, right? Everybody was waiting for that game. And like Ali said, they did not disappoint. They really did not disappoint. It was a great game from beginning to the end. As a LeBron fan, as kind of Lakers watching that, I did not want them to lose and play another game because the team needs rest, but it showed. I mean, LeBron in the beginning showed the rust, not playing those couple of weeks before the season ended. But they pulled it out. They're a championship caliber team. I mean, they know what they're doing. And in the end, it's about their defense. In the beginning, they were playing no defense. And second half, they locked it down a little bit and they start hitting shots. I mean, for Golden State to even give them that kind of a fight, I had a lot of respect for the Warriors. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Curry just because of all the hype in the beginning and people putting him top 3. But now I can really look at him and be like, he's going to go down as one of the greatest players in our generation and somebody that changed the game. So seeing him kind of playing with LeBron, going back and forth, it was really fun game, and actually made this whole play tournament, in my opinion, way bigger just because of those caliber players being in it and those teams being in it.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning. seeing us down 10, 12, 15. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to blow this game. And then even at half, when we're down 13, I was not comfortable. But then, the Lakers went back to their identity, played a tougher defense second half. And you saw when Curry went on that bench for a couple minutes, the Lakers took advantage, tied the game, took the lead. So, like you said, props to Curry because you saw what that team was without him on the floor. But then, at the end of the day, we just got lucky with that three because we didn't deserve to win that game, if you ask me.
Honestly, I'm gonna bring something up. If you guys go look at how many buzzer beaters LeBron has hit, as much as we say he's not clutch and not, guys, we'll have the numbers up next time if people want to see it. He actually has the best percentage when he takes a shot in the end, and he has taken more shots than most people think that he has. So, I mean, I was surprised he hit it right in Curry's face. That was even better. And for the 3-pointer got to get a hit right in the face for a game winner, it was awesome. I mean, as a LeBron fan, I was going crazy. So, one eye, baby, one eye. You don't even need to.
So, that will obviously lead to now the next round of the play-in. Tonight was obviously Indiana Pacers and the Washington Wizards. That was a very disappointing game. To be honest, guys, I really didn't watch the game like that because I turned it on for a few seconds and then Wizards was up on the Pacers by 1 billion points. So it wasn't even a game to get excited about.
It was a blowout from the start, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was an all-star game at one point, the way they were scoring. I was like, is this serious? What is going on? They scored 78 points or 79 points in the third quarter alone. Yep. Like, are you kidding me? 79 points in one quarter between two teams. I mean, come on, that's
this is basically a game 7 for both teams.
Exactly, and these are the games that actually makes this look bad. You know what I mean? Because then there's the Pacers. You play that kind of game, and then you come play that. I don't know. It was a horrible game, and I have personal stuff against it as well. So we're not getting in there, but it was a bad game.
Yeah, and. The East play-in side has been a little disappointing thus far. Hopefully it doesn't continue. Tomorrow we're going to get Memphis and Golden State Warriors. I think this one's going to be a good one. Memphis, I think they might win, man. I have
Memphis winning.
I have a feeling that they might win. Because Golden State, it looks to me that they really exerted a lot of energy playing the Lakers. So you can't count out Steph. I never will. But I don't know. I just think Memphis might take this.
You would think with their talent they should, but just like we thought the Lakers would blow out the Warriors, you never know what can happen in these games. Curry can come out, hit 4 threes, and that's it.
That's true. That's true. That definitely can happen.
The biggest X factor for me is Jonas Valanciunas. I mean, go look at his numbers every time they play him. I mean, the guy's throwing up 30 with like 20 rebounds. He's going to be that big man underneath. With Brooks playing the way he's playing, I just think Golden State doesn't have that many weapons. I mean, yesterday they played an amazing game, but think about how many shots people were hitting that don't usually hit. You had Wiggins playing out of his mind, blocking LeBron, going to other way. I mean, they came to play. I don't know if they're going to come with the same intensity to play a Grizzlies team as they would coming to play a Lakers team. I think that's going to be the biggest factor for me. I don't think they're going to get up for this game like they are. And if they make that mistake, that Grizzly team has a lot of people that can score, a lot of people that can create their own shots, and they have a big man underneath. They have 3-point shooters around, and you have a point guard that can distribute and play the point. I mean, you just got to shut down Curry. It's not easy as said. I mean, even with the Lakers double teaming them, he threw up 37. But I think it's going to be a very, very interesting series.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be better than what the Pacers and the Wizards gave us tonight.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Shit. I think every West series or game is going to be fire.
And finally, this, because of what happened past couple of games, so this will ultimately lead up to the seeding, it's going to be either Utah and the winner of that matchup. Which one do you guys prefer Utah to play, Memphis or Golden State?
I think I would love to see the Grizzlies go on and play Utah.
I think I prefer the Warriors just because it's Steph Curry in the playoffs.
Yeah, Steph Curry's like a magic man. But honestly, I think Grizzlies. I think it should be Grizzlies. The Warriors, would it be nice to see Steph? Of course. Who doesn't?
We've seen too much of him already.
No, I'm sure the NBA would like it. But at the same time, I mean, you gotta just look at that roster. It's like
I think he was one of the 3 MVP finalists announced today, right?
Right.
From Embiid and Jokic.
Right. And to be honest, that roster is, I don't know, it's people that are outside of Draymond. I haven't heard of any of these people. I don't know what's going on with James Wiseman. I think, should they win, great. If not, I won't be disappointed to see Grizzlies.
I mean, really quickly, if you're saying that with Clay coming back, how much you think that's going to make them better, though, in the West? Just a quick note on that. Because only they're going to get Clay back next year, unless they add some players and move things around.
Now, Oubre should come back. Wiseman should come back.
Wiseman should second year should be good. Yeah, I guess. And next year, they're going to be tough team.
I think next year, I think they might be top. You gotta give him at least top 5 because Clay is big difference.
Yes, 100%.
Clay makes a big difference on that team.
But that injury is not easy either. So we'll see how Clay is playing. But if Clay comes back and he's Clay, 100% top 5 seed. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then on the East side is going to be Philadelphia and the Wizards. That's a little bit interesting matchup.
I want to see my boy Westbrook.
Yeah, definitely. I think on paper Philly is the better team, but oh man, Westbrook, he don't care. He's just gonna come out like a rocket. Yeah, he don't care.
I have Phillies, honestly. I have Phillies if Brooklyn doesn't mash the 1% chance that the 3 superstars, all-time great players, don't mash and they have to find themselves out. I have Phillies coming out of the East, so I think it will be an easy sweep for them, the Wizards. I mean, at the end of the day, you got Bradley Beal and you got Westbrook. They're awesome players, but they're more like, I don't know, with Westbrook is you triple-double every time, but does it really help your team, or is it more stats? I think Philly should take care of them and sweep them easily.
You think it's going to be a sweep? Ooh.
I think Philly needs to sweep them. You're talking about one of the best teams in the East. Come on, you have Ben Simmons, you got Joel Embiid. I mean, that team has to sweep. If they have inspirations of going to the conference finals and giving Brooklyn a run for their money, they need to sweep the Wizards. I know the Wizards ended hot, but you have to see that roster and see what they were doing before as well. I know Bradley Beal, Westbrook, but as Philly, if I'm Philly, I need to sweep them if I have a chance, if I'm going to go against Brooklyn in the conference final. If you don't sweep them, I don't know. I think they should sweep them.
I just think when you got Westbrook on your team, he'll get you one. I think Westbrook and Bradley Beal will get you one game. They could definitely get you a game. So that I don't think they'll sweep them, but it could definitely.
The past couple of years have been like horrible in the playoffs.
I get.
Unless they turned it around this year, or they like fix whatever issue they have in the playoffs.
I mean, we're gonna only find out when the playoffs start. But Embiid has been a different player this year. That team has been different. I mean, if Brooklyn didn't get James Harden, or I mean, even then with Durant and Irving, but still, we're talking about Philly being the biggest obstacle. Philly has Joel Embiid played like an MVP caliber most of the year. I don't know. We'll see. I think I personally think they should sweep them. I get the point with Bradley Beal and Westbrook. They can get a game. But in my opinion, Philly should sweep them. They're more experienced. They've been together. Westbrook's first year there. You're going to let a 10 seed come in and take a game? I don't think so.
Fair point. So that moves to Brooklyn and now Boston because Boston won that game. Personally, I want Brooklyn to like really kick their ass because of what they did to us in 2013, sending us those old geezers for all those first round picks. Shoot, if they could like just destroy them by 20 points every game, I'll be happy. But
Yeah, I see a sweep. Unless you get 80 points from Kemba and Tatum every single night,
that's
there's no way Boston can win.
Celtics, they're like a bit hobbled up. They did have a good game against Wizards, but I don't know. I want to give them respect and give them a game, but I personally don't see it. I don't know.
Personally, I feel like Tatum's gonna come out and try to like make send a message to the league. Like, you think these three are superstars? I belong in the same category as them, but they're just, you can't do it by yourself. And I doubt Kemba's gonna have another game like he had.
You're never going to win a game with Brooklyn coming out trying to outscore them. That's just simple as fact. And nobody in the league can do that. So if I'm Boston, I'm trying to come there and say, how do I possibly stop 2 out of 3? Like, you know what I mean? You can't stop all 3, and you probably can't even stop 2 or even 1. But my game plan would be defense, 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 and try to make it a half-court game, play the slow game. Because if you try to outscore Tatum, try to come throws 50, Durant, Harden, and Irving, each one of those is more than capable of throwing the same numbers up. If they just, Harden passing the ball can get 20 assists. So it is a sweep. I don't see how it's not a sweep. I don't see how Brooklyn doesn't sweep everybody in the East if they're fully healthy and on the court in the same time. But we'll see. One game, like,
I just don't see how Boston matches up. Like,
they don't.
Who on the roster is going to guard KD? Jaylen Brown may have been their only option, and now he's gone.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Durant's like a dinosaur, bro. His arms are so long. Like, Jaylen Brown's hops can't reach his fingertips. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
that dude's length is insane. There's nobody in the league that can guard that guy.
Sorry, Sharon, we're gonna whoop your ass. Anyways,
Boston should be happy just being where they are with the year they had, honestly.
Word, I agree, man. You're absolutely right on that. And then finally here we got Phoenix and the Lakers. That's gonna be interesting. That matchup. Ooh.
All we needed was last night to win, just to clear our minds, just to realize we don't have to go another playing game. Now the Lakers can just close to this series, get healthy, practice every night, get better. And that's why, they're highly favored. The first time ever for a 7 seed favored over a number 2 seed.
So what do you guys think of this matchup? Like,
Lakers
how you?
6.
Yeah.
I'll give the Suns 2 games.
I mean, CP3, man, this breaks my heart. I mean, after LeBron, if there's somebody that's in the league that I do respect a lot and would love for him to get a chip, is CP3. But I mean, honestly, if they're fully healthy, Lakers are coming out of the West, and the Suns are not going to stand a chance against them. They're just too big, too experienced. Suns have CP3. They got that little experience, but everybody else in that team is young. They're going to go against a very, very veteran team. I say 6-2 just because of the respect to CP3. Also, I would say in 5.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like, okay, because clearly last night that's not going to be the same Laker team. That team is not gonna. If obviously if it's that team, they're gonna lose, which I don't see happening. I like you guys said, they probably shed off some of that rust. They got like 3 days to prepare, so I think they're a good team, and actually great team. Man, I can't see how the Suns gonna beat this team. Honestly, on paper, the Lakers are just really good. Suns are young, but you know what? I think they might push it to 7. I think it's going to be 7 just because of CP3. If I saw what CP3 did with Oklahoma City last year and got to Game 7 against James Harden and them, and this Phoenix team is just as talented, mind you. Yeah, obviously it's LeBron and AD. I think it's going to get to Game 7. That's just a hunch because of CP3, but. And no CP3, forget it. But Lakers will win. I think.
Honestly,
they'll advance.
Yeah, but the only thing is the Suns did not play well down the stretch at all. That defense was horrible. They were giving up like 130, 120 a game. And if they're anywhere, if they can't play defense, Lakers were a best defensive team even with LeBron and AD out. And now you have those two monsters back in. I think defensively, there's nobody left. I mean, nobody in the West that can stop them. And that's going to be the biggest thing against the Suns too.
Yeah, I can see that. But I'm excited. I'm excited, man. It's gonna be
it's
good.
Definitely gonna be a good series.
It's gonna be a great series.
We're scanning it.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. That basically wraps it up for our play-in pre-playoff tournament. You could say. Definitely once the playoff starts rolling, we can get more content out for sure. Well, until next time, guys. Before we leave, I think Masi, do you wanna do a rep, or you wanna do it for like next time when Mike is here?
All right, let's do that when everybody's here. So next podcast, guys, I have an NBA Top Shot. They had openings for the playoffs, so I was lucky enough to get a pack. So I'm gonna do a live kind of break in the next podcast. So tune in. We'll try to pull a LaMelo or a Zion or even a LeBron. Let's see.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm very excited. These things are always like, it's interesting. What the hype is around cards, NFTs, all that. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
I mean, last pack I got a Zion, which is over 5,000. So you never know.
Just trying to even get into the queue is good enough.
It's insane. Yeah, and so tune in. It'll be a treat.
As for everyone watching this, thank you for tuning in. I'm Ali here with Mubasha, Masi. Until next time, peace out.
Peace.
Okay, guys.